Andy, it's Monday. It's like the 21st January. This is 208 Oaks Ave. I will try to go as fast as I can on this video, but you know me, it's not going to be quick. So I'm just pointing out everything that I see as a buyer I would not like. Number one, the fence. You can just see this section over here is discolored, and you got the broken sections on the top. Quick little power wash before. You have this driveway on this side over here, and over here is like a little shed. I can just see it was kind of built by like the homeowner. You see I can just kind of put my hand like inside here, so there's no fascia or anything on there. It's kind of like dug into the dirt, so it's just going to rot away. I know it's not the contractor's problem, but what I was noticing more importantly is I wouldn't notice any of that stuff if this fence section was put back here. So, you know, just like the other house, you could take some fence sections from other places, put some new ones over there, and then put the old ones right here just to match it along. But you wouldn't see that if there was a fence section there. On the house, you don't have any gutters on the top part over there. You have some of the shingles right here that are above the gutters. It doesn't look like this contractor did the shingles, so we won't bust his chops on that or anything like that. But you could just start to see the gutter does dip a little bit here. You're gonna have pooling right here with some ice. At the top of the house on the rake right here, you don't have any aluminum flashing, which is okay, but you have peeling paint, which I will just zoom in so you'll see it up there. You also see like where you have the yellow paint here. They didn't paint up into the corner, so you're just going really quick. Let me zoom back out. Not much you're going to do with the landscaping, so these are probably the original bushes. Mulch is really, so you have an access over here with just some broken panels. Maybe not a big deal. You can just see how they got some white paint over here. You still have peeling paint up on this part. The windows, when they did some painting, they did a little bit of scraping, but you'll see what happens when you only do one coat. So you definitely see all this stuff here. I mean, at minimum, they could have given you some new numbers. You know, something larger like right here, so it says 208. The gutters, it looks like they did some work on. Number one, what they should do is they should have cut this gutter so it stops here. When they add these little extenders, which I don't really like those, but it's okay, it should start up higher so it's on an angle going down. What's going to happen here, because it arches like that, it's going to get full of ice. More importantly, this is really just stupid. What do you think is going to happen right now when this has water? Your gutter's not even going to work. This is all full of ice. So again, all they had to do was cut this gutter pipe down a little bit, and they could have extended it on the angle. But this really should all be hard piped, not the flex pipe up there, because of the amount of water it will take. But that's just not smart. They did a patch over here, but they didn't paint the siding to be the same color. And if you're going to paint the foundation, you know, they should have repainted or touched up there because they painted there. So why paint there and not there? They painted all the foundation, but the old oil tank lines, you know, why don't you just paint those to cover them? It doesn't look good. This is just the old vines from the old house. Now, in all fairness, it's very hard to get off, but I mean, at this point, the siding on the top here, you see all the mismatched coloring. I don't know when they painted it, but given all fairness, when it's this cold out and you're trying to paint a house, it will always come out like that. It's very bad. Underneath the window, let me see if I can zoom in. My fingers are now at a point of freezing. You have the exposed window over here because the siding's missing, but there's no flashing, capping, or caulking there. That's just going to be an issue for you. The foundation, again, they have the broken part of the foundation over there. They should have patched it up and just painted it. Should have pulled off the rest of the vines. The gas piping right here, you know, all this should be filled. Again, just more painting on that side. The gutter, which they have underneath the mulch right here, which is fine, it extends over there. It's just broken from when they put, not broken, but it's just disconnect because they put the weight of the mulch down. Or as the mulch settled, they push it down. Bottom line is it's not connected. This doesn't have the, what you call it, this doesn't have any of the gutters. See, because I'm flying through it. It's okay. At least they cut some of the branches down here. The garage door, I'm going to assume they're going to work. You can't really help that, you know, you have gaps at the bottom over here. I mean, that's because the concrete's unlevel, so it's probably not really on them. This is your, holy shit, it's cold. This is your gate, which is just fallen down and it's broken. They just cut a tree down that was over here. This is kind of cool, it's just for like garbage. But you can still see we have the beer can. So I don't know if they've done the cleaning out here. But, you know, when you see little things like this is all the stuff that's not been cleaned up. You know, small things like here. This is kind of really all over the place. This garage door, clearly not painted. The inside of the garage, for what I can see, kind of looks nice, good enough. It's the original. I'm not going to get too involved in that one because I'm just not. This would be just a home inspector because you don't have any of the glass here. You know what? Something like this, sometimes it's better just to cut them, you know, cap it and hide it. On the garage, well, down here, I mean, they cut some trees, which is nice. They opened it up. But, you know, the painting, the shutters aren't painted. You know, you got gaps over here on the trim. It's the same thing kind of where else you have, what you call it? The rake is not finished. You can see, like, when they painted the yellow, you can see all the stuff that they missed over here. So they went really, really fast on the paint. This side of the house doesn't look too bad. They got the air conditioners, which seem to be set. The HVAC is probably done best on this house. I mean, it was done absolutely by a professional. They have the foam over here. The only thing you might get caught on is actually because they have this looped. This happened to us over in Roselle. They don't want to see loops like that because people can trip. But you can see, again, all the debris that we have over here. We're not going to talk about, you know, going up on the soffit, but the soffit is, you know, should be repainted. You have peel and paint on the foundation. So they painted this, the back steps area. They gave it like a one coat, but at least it looks better than everything else. You can still see all the roller marks. Up here you have two pieces of broken siding which should have been repaired. This is the debris that I was telling you guys about. So over here it looks like this is where they basically kept a lot of the garbage when you see the spots. But you see all this stuff over here. So they have it over here as well. You know, a broken mirror, there's some broken glass, some more broken glass. Now you have the section here of all broken glass. When it wasn't frozen, it would be very easy just to, you know, rake this up with the metal rake because it has the loose fingers, and you can blow it. The problem is now your ground is really hard and frozen. It's going to be very difficult to do it. So this little shed thing, it doesn't really do anything, but it's good for storage. But, you know, they have the old panel of the fence here. You know, they have some fence section here that is just supported to the house. It actually has a gate hinge on it, so maybe that's from somewhere else, I don't know. And then of course you have leaves everywhere. Alright, I think that's enough on the outside. So we're gonna go to the inside of the house. If I was smart, I would unlock that door so I could go in, but let's see, anything else here? You know, and we do our driveways too, like on any of these properties. All the stuff that's in here, all this dirt, you know, you always want to get this kind of cleaned up because when somebody parks there, this is what they're going to see. So it would have been nice to kind of clean that up. Okay. At least your light bulb works. Alright, so when you open up the front door, they paint it nice and black, but it is the original door. So you can see like the paint is going to start peeling right there. Again, difficult when it's this cold. But also, let's talk about when you open the door, you see the weather stripping right here. So it is, it's just falling off, but you see it every time you open the door. And the other thing too is like if they paint this side black and this black, you know, just paint this, because then you won't see, you know, how not perfect the paint is if it was all painted black. It's okay that the door is not original because it's in still good condition. Now this is an exterior window, but you don't have any trim over down here. The ceiling, if you can see, this is what happens when you try to patch up or you try to touch up ceiling paint or any type of paint, any wall paint. Would have been a good idea too is if they could have caulked this stuff first, because then you don't see these gaps. Because remember, I'm standing in front of the door. This is what I see when I first walk in. Not too attractive. The floor is just really dirty, especially like the grout. Now this is probably from showings or anything, so let's assume that the guys had this cleaned before. But you know, even look over here, it's just not clean at all. They do have grout whitener. You get on like a little pencil, it's like a little marker, and you could actually whiten up this grout. They come in different colors. These windows have just been painted shut. You know, a home inspector's gonna probably bust your chops on it, but it was probably painted shut a long time ago anyway. But you know, when we do our stuff, you gotta make sure things look right. So this is what I was telling you, Andy, about the door. How you saw I could see the old trim kit. So what you should have done is taken the handle off, sand this down a little bit, you know, put some spackle on it or Bondo, sand it down, repaint it, put the door back on, and then re-drill the holes. But especially over here. So they just added like a little filler gap piece here and here. So what we do on ours is we fill the whole thing. It goes back basically looking just like this, and then we'll take our holes and we re-drill right exactly where you need them. But if you kind of see like the windows, because they're not really clean, and when they paint the white, you can see all the black stuff. So when you see white and clear, and then you see strips of black, it just looks really poor. So you gotta be good to, you know, to get all those things done. A way around this is, you know, they could have put some caulk in here, and shit, just paint the trim and hit the window, because then it would have been all white. Take a razor blade and clean it all up. This is just the original lock. And this is what I was telling you. They sprayed in the house. This is how you can even see it. So they kept the original lock on, and they just sprayed. The reason why I bring that up is for this door. So this is the French door, which is really nice entrance to your house. You know, but you have the old handle here, but they took the time to put the new handle here. These are the same sizes. You know, they could have just changed this one. But you see how when they sprayed and they got the paint all over the windows? So you see how, I'm trying to get a good view. Hey, you see how bad these look? This is all because they didn't scrape these things, but you'll see like right here, this is how you know they sprayed. And spraying is fine, you know, just for this, for the primer part. But you know, welcome to your $370,000 renovated house. I don't think so. This window over here is probably not on them, but you know, the storm window's missing. But anyway, this is what I was telling you about when I was looking out the window. You know, you can see the debris and the dirt right there. You know, I can see like the sections of glass. I can see the section over there of glass. Just the trim alone. And you see how, you know, we didn't do any of the caulking first. There's no caulking up here. You have the base, the quarter round, which is just completely splitting. That's my finger. So what's that, like a good 3/8 of an inch off? The painting quality, I mean, this is what you're dealing with. So all this stuff should be perfectly painted white. And you see how you have the wall, it's already hitting onto the trim. So when you don't see crisp lines like that, and this is, I know this is new paint and this is new paint, even though your walls are not perfect, the paint job can be better. So now when you walk into the house, again, the floor is dirty, probably from old showings. But you got this one rinky-dinky, you know, these are 2 for like $30 light fixtures. You know, this is why I don't ever put these on even if you guys ask for them, because it doesn't make it look really nice. I know they didn't clean the windows because I can see the old sticker. What is that? That says, like, I can't read it backwards, but it says like window and doors. So they got it from a window and door place. So this window is clearly replaced by them. When you have these bookshelves over here, you know, I'm focusing right on all those things right there. So clearly there's probably some wires going up there. You know, fill those things and paint them, because on this side it looks really great. Over here it looks really crappy. The same on here. So when I walked in, all I noticed all these because I'm looking at white, 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 call this white for all intents and purposes, and I see black, black, black. Sticks out like a sore thumb. So you see like the paint lines. So this is how, you know, people see these when they're starting to walk at the house. You know, when you get the color on the white, you see all this stuff. It sticks out like a sore thumb. What else over here? I mean, I don't care, whatever it is, but the base trim should have been repainted or touched up. You know, back underneath the trim case over here, that wasn't painted. They should have just put a board there. All right, no big deal. So for the kitchen, I don't know if this is connected to a GFI, but the inspector would want to see the GFI outlet here. You got to have an outlet by code, but it has to be GFI. I'm not testing it, but you know, that may come up. And so I was talking about the fridge, because this is a 33-inch fridge. When you have these doors and they're vertical, which is why I don't really use these, it makes it look more narrow. So the fridge looks small, but this is a 30-inch cabinet, a 33-inch fridge. So, you know, why didn't they just make a 33-inch cabinet right here and then wrap? They have all the space, so I'm not sure why that was done. But the cabinets seem to be fine. I didn't test everything. The microwaves, you know, technically by a code, you don't have to have these filtered, because they have, actually, you know what? You're missing the little filters right here. So you don't actually have filters on here. Oh, here they are. They just didn't finish installing it. But the filters are right there. Bottom line, it's really garbage, because all it does is it pushes your air back in. So regardless, on every one that we always do, we'll always have the exhaust up to the top, and we'll go out the side of the house. But it seems a lot of the properties, people are just cutting corners on there. Maybe people don't notice. They just don't have it finished, installed, taking it wrapped out. Piece of trim just goes at the bottom, but no big deal. The trim is just when you have the gaps down here. Like if they had it finished a little bit nicer, especially because they put that on top of the tile. So they put the tile on first and then they put that down. It should have been finished with a piece of shoe molding so that you don't see that whole gap right there. It really sticks out. For the plumbing, when they don't clean up the putty around here, you know, people are going to want to touch and feel the sink. But just on, you know, on the record side, these are kind of the cool style people are using. But this is like a really small version of it. It operates not too bad. But your screen is not intact over here, and you're going to see that you're missing the chain on this side. You have a couple of these all throughout, but this one does have a chain here, so it should hold itself up. But even like when they're doing the painting, you know, you can see the paint on the top over there. You can see the paints on the window. So not the most attractive thing. No, I never even looked in here. Okay, well, as for the washer dryer, they have the vent, so it should be okay. Like when you're painting, you know, don't get paint all over the out light fixture or the outlet switch. So this is the bathroom I guess you guys added. And you see like this is caulk right here. So that's like stuck on here. So you have that all around. You can see like this has never been cleaned. This is not from use. It's just nice, you know. Peel that off, make it look nicer. You know, this wasn't clean. This is not like buffed up or anything. Still the same. You have the screens up here. I'm not sure if you have both storm windows, but you're missing the rods here. You know, you're missing the rod on this one, but you have it there. Other than that, toilet paper holder's kind of high, but it is what it is. Let's run down to the basement real quick. So they may ask for railings over here. I'm not really sure. It's kind of an odd spot. But like this is the original kill switch, so I know it's going to say oil underneath there. There you go. I know you had oil one. You know, that could have just been easily replaced. I mean, the switch is not even, whatever, I'm not even going to touch that anymore. The bottom line is, but even when they put this vinyl plank flooring down here, it's fine, but why don't you extend it so it looks complete? And then, you know, it should have a trim kit up, or a trim over here, because this will just start to pop up. When you're doing these basements, I know they painted the walls, but you guys got to really paint these floors. It's going to make a big difference aesthetically when you're coming down, because right now this is really dirty. It wasn't even shop vac or anything. Like, you're not coming down here without shoes on. That's your house. This is the HVAC. This part is done really neat. This is the best way to do all these seals. And I mean, this guy taped, you know, he joined every single one. This guy's not really missing a beat over here. So you have the furnace, which, you know, the furnace, which kind of looks fine. If that is the kill switch, it really should be red, and it should identify what it is. But I guess one controls the basement and one's the kill switch for the attic. So maybe the reason why he did that. The hot water heater, there's no grounding on that. Other than that, it kind of looks okay. They have it set off the bricks, which is correct. You're going to have an issue here. In all honesty, it's not really a concern, but from an inspector, it's going to be. Even from a building or a home inspector. But when you have the pipe coming up here, it does have a good small little pitch, but you can see it goes back down. Can't have that. That needs to go, and that needs to be changed. The new panel came in here. It's just 150 amp. So, you know, I'm not sure why you guys did 150, or maybe just change the old panel. That's okay. But you have wires that are just sitting there capped, which need to be in a junction box, and it's just done really sloppy. This was not an electrician that did this job, because electricians don't leave their crap looking like that. So that's that. So you have this light fixture that's hanging down here. Can't have that. It's just really stupid. We have this wire. I'm not sure what the wire is for, nor do I want to know. We have this wire over here by the panel that just says something like, "Don't see this wire. Leave it H." I don't know what that means. So going all the way around here, you know, again, if we're painting everything, why do we not just paint this, or just take it down when you guys did the demolition? It probably would have been better to leave all this open and exposed and just painted everything. So they have a junction box here, but the wires should have just been strapped up a little bit nicer. You might want to just insulate like around here. Oh, actually, he insulated from the other side. Not all of it though, because I still see I feel the draft coming in. Not a big deal there. But when this guy left the sheetrock up here, you know, that's purple and that's mold shit right there. So, you know, why are we going to leave the moldy sheetrock on here? Just take it out, knock it down, and you paint the rest of the column. Home inspectors are not going to like to see these adjustable lolly columns. The reason being is because there's no footer underneath here. So I don't know why they have this here or what they needed it for. But you're just... Oh, it's because that beam is cracked right there. But, you know, that might come back to be, you know, a home inspection.